whole cascade of symptoms all at once. Like you'll just be sitting there in bed, and all of a sudden, like my heart just started racing. Like I heard you talk about like your blood pressure. I'm pretty sure the same thing was happening to me. I just didn't test it, but I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack, bro. Like it was insane. I was having that. Like I had so many suicidal thoughts. Like like I've never had mental health issues in my life. Like before that, like never.
Aksh, how about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, so basically, I started Finasteride when I was 18, so this is 2014.
So you were not even like a full-grown man.
No,
you were.
Yeah. The funny part is when I was actually 16, I went to my family doctor, and when I was 16, he tried to give me Finasteride then, and he was like, "Your mom can sign a waiver and you can take it." But then I went home, I did some research, and then I'm like, "You can't take Finasteride until you're 18, right? That's like the minimum age." So then I'm like, all right, I'll come back when I'm 18. Then I took it when I'm 18. And then from 18 to 23, I took it. I was on and off, so around 5 years, I would say. And during that time, like a couple of years in, I started getting like some low testosterone symptoms. And then, so I didn't really know if it was the finasteride or the testosterone, because then I went to the endocrinologist, and he gave me TRT and he gave me HCG. And on that, like I felt amazing. And then during that time, I was still taking finasteride, like, on and off. I took some breaks here and there, but I was on it for like, most.
So you were tolerating it. You weren't like experiencing like acute, like, this is also the picture I want to paint, is the frog in boiling water, right? Like Blake, immediately 3 weeks, he's completely fucked. You made it pretty long on and off, and weren't like, you didn't have no like horrendous, like, whoa, I need to stop this, but the frog eventually boiled for you.
Yeah, so 2019, I remember I just turned 23 years old. And like a week after I took a break from finasteride, I crashed. Like I crashed really bad. And basically
describe that for the audience. What do you mean by the crash?
So when you crash, basically like you get a whole cascade of symptoms all at once. Like you'll just be sitting there in bed, and all of a sudden like my heart just started racing. Like I heard you talk about like your blood pressure. I'm pretty sure the same thing was happening to me. I just didn't test it, but I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack, bro. Like it was insane. I was having that. Like I had so many suicidal thoughts. Like I've never had mental health issues in my life. Like before that, like never. I've never gone to a psychiatrist. I've never even talked about my feelings, really, honestly, with anyone. And all of a sudden, I was depressed. Like such deep depression. Like I couldn't like feel emotions. Like it was insane. I was derealized. Like I didn't even know what that was until it happened to me. I was like, what the hell is this? You're not even like connect to your surroundings. Like I'll be doing something, but I feel like a zombie. You feel like a robot. Like, you don't even feel like you're present in the moment. I have those issues. And then obviously like sexually, like, right, this is gonna sound nuts, but my penis shrank like overnight. Like it was instant. It was cold to the touch. My testicles shrank. It was like I lost like 2 inches, I would say, off my with the shrinkage. Physically, I have joint pain now. Like I have wrist, like now I get hurt and like my injuries don't heal. Like I've had this sprain for like 2 months. Like it's just like I try to play video games, I can't even play like video games now, and then it's crazy. So I have that stuff. I have muscle atrophy. I've even had like this doesn't really matter, but it just kind of shows you that we've been feminized. It's just that I used to have a unibrow, like it would grow in, but now like it doesn't grow in. Like I have not touched my unibrow in like 4 years, like, and it just doesn't grow in anymore. Even though like before, every 2 weeks, like it would grow in. So I've had that. I've had even like gyno, like I've even had like weight gain in my thighs and my hips, and it's like all the weight just wants to accumulate in my legs, kind of like a woman. It's bizarre. Like, when I tell people and I go to doctors, just like Blake talked about, here in Canada, you go to the doctor, my GP, he just thought it was nuts. He gave me a medication for anxiety, and he's like, hey man, you just have mental health issues. And I'm like, bro, I can show you pictures of my arms, like of the muscle wastage, I'll post it on the forums. Like it's night and day. Like I even have some loose skin. Mine is not that bad, but I've heard other, like I know Mark has that. So it's crazy, like the amount of symptoms I had. Like if I actually had to tally them up, it'd be around 20 symptoms. Like even cold hands, body temperature is lower, metabolism is slower, chronic fatigue. There was a long time where I couldn't even get out of bed for like the first 2 years. I was literally sleeping. There were so many days where I would sleep 2 days straight. Like I would eat every other day. And the crazy part is my metabolism was so slow, I was still gaining weight during that time, even though I wasn't eating. And like
that's wild.
Yeah, like it's insane. Now it's better. Like now I can at least like I sleep 12 hours a day, which is like a lot. I'm only 27, but it's still better than before. Like now, at least I can do certain things throughout the day, like tasks and volunteering and stuff like that. So that's good. But yeah, like, and in terms of trying things, like I was already on TRT and HCG when I crashed from PFS. I was on that, and I was on. So I was even on an aromatase inhibitor. People say that's going to help. None of this stuff helps. Like I've tried Proviron, I've tried HGH, I've tried blasting steroids, I've tried Nadrol and Decanoate, which is like stupid because I know some people get decadix from that. I tried that.
Yeah, that can actually theoretically cause a syndrome too.
Yes, I didn't know that at the time, but like, luckily nothing worse. I tried that. I tried Trinabol. I saw your video on Trinabol. I tried that like 3 years ago. I tried Anavar. Like the list is, if I listed all the steroids I tried, like you'd be like, what the hell? And none of this stuff did anything. If anything, I felt worse. Like I tried the Proviron, the 200 milligrams a day, and I could not do anything. I just wanted to kill myself on it. Like the suicidal thoughts got so bad, it was insane. And I tried a gram of testosterone per week. I know everyone you tell, they're like, oh, just try steroids, it'll help. It does not do anything. Like it literally does not do anything. It's like injecting water. This disease is some scary shit. And like a few years ago, I figured that out when I tried a gram of testosterone a week for 3 months. Did absolutely nothing.
So you were pretty eager at 16 to do finasteride. Like, were you like to me, like thinking from a doctor, I want to put a 16-year-old on an anti-androgen before he completes puberty. Like, again, I'm not a doctor. I don't wear a white lab coat, but like that makes no sense to me. Like, were you rapidly losing hair?
No. Look, you can see my hair now. It's not that bad even now. Like, I don't know if it's on the camera, but it's not super bad even like to this day. At that point, like it wasn't worth taking a drug for that. I went in. The reason why he gave it to me was because he was actually using finasteride, right, for so many years. Like he's been on finasteride for 20 years, my GP. That's the big problem that we have. Like I will admit, most people do tolerate it fine, but you still can't risk like tens of thousands of people around the world that are suffering, right? Like there's still like a massive human cost to this drug.
Well, the problem is that the side effects don't go away. So there's no like they just stop it. Like if you have a bad reaction to testosterone, it half-lifes out, and then you go back to baseline eventually. Or you have a mediated therapy that acutely relieves your symptoms. Here, you guys can see that everyone's tried shit, and some of it's obviously made their symptoms worse. Like you would think Proviron, if he was, again, feminized, that's literally oral DHT. He's just popping every day, and it's doing nothing, right? It's on a genetic level, an epigenetic level that, he's dealing with it not working.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried even substances like GHB, for the sleep. I've tried stuff like that. So many herbs and protocols. People try to sell us, and this stuff does not work. I mean, we need proper research. We're fortunate for PFS Network. They're doing research over in Germany with some of the best, researchers in the world. They've looked into androgen insensitivity syndromes, and Alfonso Benucci, who's one of the main researchers, like he's done work on the prostate cancer. So, I mean, that's the type of stuff that we need. And this situation is insane, and no one should ever have to go through this. I mean,
how many years are you going on?
It's been 4 years. So like I'm 27. I got this when I was just 23. Like I had my whole life ahead of me. I was in university. Like I had everything. Like and I was smart. That's another thing. Brain fog. I have that. Like I feel like my IQ has dropped like insane. Like I used to be so bright before. I could read a paper and I could memorize like information. It would just get stuck in my brain. Now, like I just feel so stupid, and like I can't remember things. My short-term memory is like destroyed. My long-term, everything is just gone. I've lost friends. So many things in my life I've lost, right, because of this drug. And it really hurts when you see videos on YouTube where people are like, I know you've talked about it, where people deny it or whatever, but this is a serious problem, and in order for us to solve this, we're gonna need outside support. I mean, there's nowhere around it. So